Well, good morning. I am Suzanne Hanifin with Acumen Executive Search, and I'm with my lovely co-host, Tanis Morris. And we are excited to have another phenomenal guest, Janel Rieder, with Assisted Hands Home Care for our Hiring for Good podcast. As you know, Hiring for Good podcast is a podcast on leadership. And we're going to learn a lot from Janel today. She has been the owner of Assisted Hands for 8 years. Prior, she was an RN at Legacy Mount Hood Medical Center. It takes a lot to have one career and then to change, become an owner and a manager. And so it's the passion you have for people, the bravery to take this. I'm excited to have you here. So welcome, Janel.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, Janel Rieder, and my husband and I, Randy, own Assisting Hands Home Care in Happy Valley.
Yeah, so we would love to kind of get into the journey of here you started one career path, and what, again, how did you get to where you are today?
Gosh, if someone would have told me that I'm here today, I would have not believed them, honestly. So I grew up in a great family in the Gresham area. I'm a twin.
A twin?
Yes.
I always wanted to be a twin.
Well, we did some stuff. It was fun.
Identical, I'm assuming? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, great family. And I graduated from Portland State University in 1991 with a Bachelor's of Science in Business, with a new business school path called Human Resources. And those were in the days of American Disability Act, and that's what I was planning on doing, and that's what I did. My first job out of school was in the business office at Union Gospel Mission. So I did that. I got married pretty young. And it didn't turn out well. It was a non-functional marriage, abusive. I would definitely say it was. Yeah, lots of financial abuse, lots of threatening abuse. So, but I do have 2 lovely kids from that, and I was in that for 18 years, and I decided to end that, which was an excellent thing to do.
I chose the right word of bravery. I mean, to be able to put a stop and to say, time out, let's reassess.
Right.
Right. It's brave.
Well, it's particularly difficult after so many years, anyways, because you're really downtrodden at that point.
Right.
And you have to find your confidence. And it's just, that's the hardest part, I think.
It sure was. I mean, I always compare it to the frog at the boiling water.
Yeah.
The heat turns up and up and up, and you are not even realizing it.
Yeah.
And women react differently. I've never counseled women on that, but I can definitely recognize it.
Yeah.
Pretty instantly.
One of the themes on this podcast that we discuss is how challenges kind of shape who you are. And I would imagine that finding the strength and resilience to, move out of that probably changed your life and your career in really profound ways. So I'm sure we'll talk about it, but
it did. Yes, absolutely. My parents were a very supportive family. Some family members were not so supportive, so there was secondary trauma there as well. So I found myself as a single mom with junior high kids, which is not the greatest time.
Oh, no. I'm hopefully moving past that snarky, hard attitude.
You will. Yes. Yeah. And so as I said, I have 2 kids. My daughter, Isabel, she is 30 years old today.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I know.
Happy birthday, Isabel.
Happy birthday.
Oh, it's her birthday.
Today.
Okay. Wow. Well, happy birthday. And happy birthday to you.
Isn't that the truth? Yes. And my son Benjamin is 26, and he recently moved to Nampa. So Isabel lives with her husband and 3 kids. Yes. The sweetest, most amazing grandkids ever.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's 10 times better than being a mom.
Yeah.
So when you were in this spot, like moving back, here you are, you're a single mom, you have 2 kids, and now you have to forge a new path. So what did you do?
Gosh, so stressful. So, I mentioned really significant financial abuse. I had to open my own bank accounts and hide money.
Wow.
I was able to keep the house. I negotiated with him. I said, if you give me the house and full custody, you don't have to pay spousal support. And he went for it. Best decision ever.
Best. Yeah.
So I had to deal with the house, no financial support whatsoever from him. There was child support. He had to be garnished in order for me to even get that.
Jeez.
Yeah, arrests and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay.
But yeah, so navigating through all that. So I had to short sale my house. It was really stressful. And figure out how I could support my kids as a single mom and still be there for them. And I had so many people come up to me in years gone by say, you would be an amazing nurse. And so I started down that path, and I have that prior bachelor's degree, and I had to get a few prereqs, like in biology and things like that business people don't necessarily take.
Yeah.
So I did all that, and I was able to I was accepted into 2 schools, actually.
Wow.
I was accepted into OHSU and Linfield in the accelerated program. So nursing accelerated programs, what they do is they take your prior degree and they apply just the basics to that second bachelor's degree. And so I earned my nursing degree, Bachelor of Science, from Linfield. I ultimately chose Linfield. Yes, in 18 months.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of biology science.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was super stressful, but exciting and empowering.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I, in that time frame, I met and married my current wonderful husband, Randy. And together we have 5 kids. So I have 3 bonus sons. Our kids are ages 37 to 26.
Wow.
I know.
Fun.
Right.
Yes.
And our daughter's the only one that's produced grandchildren. What the heck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so here you launch into being a nurse, and you worked at some pretty challenging place. One, corrections.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us kind of what happened to where you said, let's do something totally different again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So I started my nursing career in a civilly committed locked unit for very, very violent people with mental illness.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. And charge nurse at night, no less, because why not do that for your first nursing job?
Jeez. It's all downhill from there. Yeah.
Right? And then I went to work for the Department of Corrections at Coffee Creek Medium Security and maximum or minimum security, and there's segregation there too. It's an intake for the state of Oregon for men. So I had both men patients and women patients in the facility. And then from that point, my manager from Legacy Health, she recruited me. She was absolutely fascinated by prison nurses. Yeah. And that was a hard job for sure, a fun job. It was good. But I spent most of my career at Legacy at Mountain Hood Medical Center, and mostly just because of the location.
Yeah.
So we live in Sandy, Oregon, and going to Gresham was a whole lot easier commute than Wilsonville.
Oh,
And I had to be through security by 5 a.m.
Wow.
from Sandy to Wilsonville. So I left my house about 3:45 in the morning. So,
Isn't it amazing what we do?
Isn't it?
It really is.
Right.
Yeah.
But, it worked in that season because I was able to then pick up the kids from school and go home and spend the afternoon and do all the soccer and after school activities and all the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, yeah, I did spend most of my career at Legacy on a medical telemetry unit. So it's an inpatient unit where we monitor heart rates, hearts. We treated a lot of post-heart attack, strokes, lots of flu, anything.
Yeah.
Right. So,
And then what happened to make you leave something safe and secure,
right.
take a risk
Right.
again,
Right.
another big risk?
Right.
What was the
Yeah, I've always kind of been a leader. I was a relief charge nurse on my unit. Doctors and nurses they always communicated to me, "Oh gosh, I'm glad you're in charge today of our unit because you're so calm." It can be a very busy unit, that particular one. So the calmness and the leadership provided made them feel secure in their work.
So when did you see this opportunity to start home health care?
Right.
Yeah.
So
about your
yeah.
business and how you got it started.
Right. So Assisting Hands is we own it's a medical and non-medical in-home care service. And my big reason for opening this is that I saw patients come into the hospital again and again for the same reasons. I mean, to the point where my aides would say, "Janel, so-and-so's back." And then the doctor would come up and say, "So-and-so's back. Is it the same care plan as last time?" "Yeah, it's the same care plan." And I realized that people tend to go back to the old habits in their homes and not take their medications correctly. And they don't have, a lot of times, family support. And they cycle back through again and again. I thought, oh my gosh, this is not good for our healthcare system. It's not good for them. It's just not a good way to live. And if I can take my acute care experience and transfer that to the home and teach my caregiving staff to recognize signs and symptoms of heart failure exacerbation or COPD or any chronic condition, then maybe I can have an impact on their personal health and our community.
That's wonderful. And today, we talked about this before starting this podcast. You have about 50 employees.
We do have about 50 employees.
So think of hundreds of people you're helping.
Right.
Yeah.
We do. And over the years, we've hired hundreds and hundreds. And that's the nature of this business, and hundreds of clients. And moving people along their health and life continuum. It's a journey. And so they come onto our radar, and we can take care of them for a moment. And then they move on, either to a higher level of care or pass away.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the same with the employees, right?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
yeah, they have journeys too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it'll be. We haven't gotten into all of the topics that we'll cover yet, but I know one of the things that we discuss is as a leader, it sounds like so much of your own journey has been about personal growth and then seeing opportunities and moving forward. And you've even alluded to the fact that the folks you have working for you, it sounds like you're empowering them to move on their journey as well. So I'm wondering if that's like a recurring theme
Yes.
in your life and in your company. And I guess I won't jump ahead too far, but I would be curious to know, how would you consider that one of your core values to kind of continually grow? And then how do you operationalize that?
I love learning. I love learning all new things, all things nursing, nutrition, just personal growth. That's really, it feeds me. I love that. And I love empowering women. I love giving our staff a space to create really good practices of caregiving. I talk to them about, this is your practice. It's not just something that you do. It's important, and it's who you are. And I want you to think about how your practice looks and how you want to impact your patients. And if you want to grow, let's grow. I do have a program where if they want to earn their CNA license, that I will pay for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I love that. I have taken lots of nursing students and shown them things. They're always excited for me to show things. And then they go to lab and they say, oh my gosh, Janel already showed me this.
Oh, that's great.
That is awesome.
Yes.
And 8 years now being a business owner.
Yeah.
Whether it's from drawing from your nursing experience, but what are some of those real formative experiences, whether it's a mentor that it shaped who you are?
Right. So Randy and I have a family motto, and we've moved it into our business as a motto. And it's not our core purpose, but it's definitely an overarching theme, and that is to act justly, love mercy, walk humbly.
Wow. That's powerful. Say that again.
Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly. So, the overarching theme of what we want to do with our staff and our clients is to empower them, as I said, but also just to love on them. They have often come from not great working environments. A lot of times they come from higher levels of care where it's very, very busy. And their work is not maybe called out and honored the way it should be.
Oh, I think that's absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I have a girlfriend who did senior care during COVID.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. It is not appreciated.
No.
And it's critical.
It's so critical.
Well, and in the last year, I know both Suzanne and I have, in our personal lives, had some, quite a bit of crossover into this world of adult care, family members in failing health.
Right.
And you get a front row seat to some of the challenges inherent in that system. So, it sounds like you're empowering your team to address, some of those situations with.
Right. It is. It's very challenging. It's very emotionally draining, especially when you're with the same client day after day. So the way the business works is we match clients to caregivers, skill set, location. So it's not like one of our clients calls up and says, I need somebody today. It's a scheduled process. So they see their clients all the time. And with that is naturally, we're human beings, you're really emotionally drawn into their world. And that is hard to navigate on a day-to-day basis. So,
and it's also fairly isolating.
Very isolating.
So when you look at building teams and building a company culture,
yes,
that's hard when everybody is dispersed.
Right.
So how do you do that? Is it through these core values?
Right.
Yeah. How do you operationalize all of that?
Gosh, that you just hit the nail on the head. That is the hardest part. Face to face, my office leadership team, transferring those core values and keeping them encouraged, that's the easy part. When a caregiver goes to their home, to a client's home, maybe another client's home in their day, and then back to their home, you never see them. There's some staff members that if they do their job well, unless I call them, I don't see them.
Yeah.
And that is very, very challenging. So we implement a lot of different things. They will call into the office all the time. I've trained my office team to really, really care for them and love on them and communicate, hey, how are you doing? We know about their personal lives. We're able just to kind of speak into to them as people. And so it starts with that. It starts with orientation, really changing their thinking about the way we do things. They are important. What their work matters. They are part of a healthcare team. They've never been told that, but it's so true. It is so true.
And it's interesting that you take it from onboarding.
Right.
And studies have showed that usually it's the first 90 days within that, somebody's going to stay with you long term or not. And they say it has so much to do with the onboarding.
Right.
It's setting those expectations.
Right.
Here's this culture, laying the groundwork.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's love, but it's also that it's for us to act justly. It's keeping them in the framework of our expectations. And it's truly not love if you let that go, right?
Yeah.
And people they move on and they go to different places. But what's interesting is that a lot of them, many, dozens, have come back.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So that says a lot for my team. And we are constantly hearing, oh my goodness, it's so wonderful working here. I have never experienced an organization like this. So that says a lot to my office staff and my leadership team.
Let me ask you, it sounds like you've undergone significant growth having this large of a team. What are your plans for the future for your business? Did you envision it getting to this point now? Was this part, or did it just sort of organically happen? And then where are you going?
Gosh, yeah. When I first started this business, I had no idea how to do it. I knew how to be a nurse, but an acute care nurse in structured environments. I have created my own processes and policies and procedures. And yes, I remember waiting for that first phone call when we had 0 clients and 1 caregiver.
Wow. And
Right.
now 50.
50. And we've grown year over year.
Yeah. And do you want to stay where you are, or are you looking to grow?
I do want to grow. We have grown year over year, and that is the expectation.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to impact our community in a very profound way. We have so many neat referral partners, and when a client has outgrown the service that we can provide, I'm able to pass them on to a trusted referral partner.
Wonderful.
And I love that, impacting our community in such a powerful way. And that's what I really communicate to our caregiving team is that, gosh, doing laundry and making meals seems very mundane, but to the person and the family, it's everything. I do envision a bigger company, absolutely. More employees, carefully hiring.
Yeah. And I bet that's been really challenging.
Oh, after it's through COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was so difficult. Writing those infection control policies, keeping everybody safe. None of our clients got COVID. Yay,
Wow.
ladies. Oh, they did such a good job. I was so proud of them. I would like to see on my team maybe care managers that specialize in just that. Our office team does that, and we divide that, but specific. Maybe some social workers. I've had doctor friends that say, hey, can I have an office next to yours? And I can just be an independent provider. Things like that. I would love to do that.
Again, you're changing the way that we're looking at this.
Right.
And again, Tanis shared, we're both going through this with our family members.
Yes.
And it's not working. And
Yes.
if there was an easy solution, we
Right.
would have figured it out.
There's not an easy solution, and it's unique to every single person. And that's what I love to do is get in there, assess a patient, assess their living condition, look at the family dynamics, and figure out a path that makes sense for them.
Absolutely.
I love
So,
doing that.
lessons learned. I bet you have a bazillion.
Yes. Oh, gosh. One of the biggest lessons learned, and I will say my business coach was really instrumental in this is, a couple things. Write down your process. Have it in a binder. So if you just hand the binder over to someone who doesn't know the business, they can immediately know the business. Great lesson. The biggest, most impactful lesson, though, for me is to really create a leadership team that knows the business very well so that I can step out of those details and dream and move the business forward. You know, my job, I feel like I have two jobs: grow the business, love on my clients, love on my staff. That's it. And if I'm in the details of the things that bring me down and take my energy away, then I can't move that needle at all. When I'm free to do that, those are my best moments of thinking about new ways of approaching care or new things to do to empower people and to care for my clients. So that is my biggest lesson right there.
Beautiful. So another question we ask everyone is, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Which is big. I still tell myself that. My internal monologue.
Yes.
Okay. This too shall pass.
Isn't that true? Yes. As we move through life, we understand that's so true. And, when you're 20, you're so focused. And as now a grandma of 3, I'm just able to look back and on my career and just say, things work out. And, when you walk with a purpose and as much integrity as you can possibly those things just come to you, and good people surround you. And it's, another thing I would say is just have fun. Because it's fun. It's really fun. I mean, it is fun. I love this business. It's a fun business, and I love helping people.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of helping people, our podcast, Hiring for Good, means different things to different people.
Right.
What does hiring for good mean for you?
Gosh. Well, for my clients, if I hire well and hire for good, it impacts their life in profound ways. If I hire well, it impacts the community in profound ways. So that is the challenge. And that's what we do every single day is hire.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure to have you with us and just learn a little bit about your business and your process and your story.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today at Hiring for Good. If you were inspired by our conversation, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you want to learn more about our executive search services, check us out at www.hiringforgood.net or our company website, Acumen Executive Search.
Thanks so much, and don't forget to join us next time for another in-depth conversation about transformational leadership. Until then, have fun.